I still remember the disaster of my first kitchen remodel. I bought a standard range hood that sounded like an airplane taking off, but somehow still left my smoke alarm blaring every time I seared a steak. The grease buildup was a nightmare, and the noise made cooking miserable. Finding the right range hood is a minefield of confusing specs and flimsy designs. But after tearing out that old mistake, I went down the rabbit hole to find the ultimate kitchen ventilation. Stick around because I'm revealing the best Hauslane range hoods that will actually transform your cooking space. 7. Hauslane R200. If you are looking for a range hood that completely disappears into your custom cabinetry, this model offers a truly flush mount look with zero visible lips or awkward gaps. It blends into the kitchen architecture flawlessly, giving the space a highly customized, high-end appearance that I absolutely loved during the initial setup process in my own kitchen remodel. Operating the R200 is straightforward thanks to the mechanical dual control knobs. These manual knobs allow you to switch between 3 different speed settings and intuitively control the overhead lighting. The unit features 2 GU10 LED bulbs, which I found surprisingly pleasant because they emit a warm 3000 Kelvin glow over the stove. You can easily swap these standard bulbs out if you prefer a different color temperature for your kitchen workspace, which is a nice touch of customization. However, when I put the R200 through some rigorous cooking tests, its limitations became quite apparent. With a maximum airflow of 390 CFM, this single motor hood really struggles when you start doing heavy-duty cooking. I tried getting a hard crust on a thick ribeye steak, and the R200 simply couldn't keep up with the volume of thick smoke, resulting in my hallway smoke alarm going off unexpectedly. It is perfectly fine for gentle simmering or boiling water, but it falls remarkably short for intense high-heat searing. Maintenance is relatively easy with the dishwasher-safe stainless steel baffle filters, which feature full-size ergonomic handles. But again, because the suction isn't incredibly powerful, I noticed that some airborne grease managed to bypass the filters and settle on the surrounding wooden cabinetry over time. 6. Hauslane UC-B018. The standout feature during my testing was the 3-way exhaust option, making it incredibly easy to install whether you have a top round duct, a top rectangular duct, or a rear rectangular duct. For older homes where routing new ductwork can be an absolute nightmare, this level of flexibility is a massive lifesaver, and it can even be converted to a completely ductless setup with charcoal filters. The aesthetics and controls are a definite step up from older designs, featuring a sleek touch button panel that brings a distinctly modern vibe to the kitchen environment. The integrated LED strip provides a solid, even layer of bright illumination across the entire cooktop, making it wonderfully easy to see exactly what you are doing while prepping meals. The 30-inch stainless steel body feels relatively durable, and the smooth buttonless display means you won't be picking sticky grease out of tiny crevices at the end of the night. When it comes to actual performance, the UC-B018 offers an equivalent airflow of 400 CFM, which is an improvement, but it still left me wanting more during heavy culinary sessions. I tested it while deep frying battered chicken, and while it captured a decent amount of the steam and odor, the kitchen still smelled like hot frying oil for hours afterward. Furthermore, the motor noise at the highest of the 3 speed settings is noticeably grating. It has a slightly whiny mechanical pitch that made having a normal conversation in the kitchen rather difficult. Another point of friction I encountered was with the hybrid baffle and aluminum mesh filters. While they are heavily marketed as being completely dishwasher safe and do an okay job trapping heavy particles, the fine aluminum mesh component tends to stubbornly hold onto sticky grease. 5. Hauslane PS18. From the very moment I fired up the dual motors, It was undeniably clear this under-cabinet hood was built for serious cooking. I put it to the ultimate test with an intense wok stir-frying session filled with chili oil and minced garlic, and the PS18 effortlessly pulled the thick smoke and pungent odors right out of the kitchen. It is an absolute beast for high-heat cooking. One of my favorite features on this specific model is the highly customizable 6-speed control system. Having 6 distinct fan speeds means you can always find the absolute perfect balance between raw suction power and ambient noise. When I was just gently simmering a pot of chicken noodle soup, setting it to the lowest speed provided a whisper-quiet operation that didn't interrupt my kitchen conversations. When it was time to aggressively sear heavy beef burgers, cranking it up to maximum speed cleared the air rapidly without sounding like a completely unmanageable turbine engine. The PS18 also includes a brilliant piece of engineering called power control technology. During my installation tests, I found this feature incredibly useful because it allows you to easily cap the unit's airflow at 350 CFM if your local building codes strictly require it. This means you can avoid the incredibly costly hassle of installing a whole house makeup air system while still enjoying a premium, high-quality range hood design. It is a highly thoughtful addition that saves homeowners substantial time and money. Cleaning up after heavy, messy cooking is an absolute breeze with this unit. The robust dishwasher-safe baffle filters are thoughtfully designed with extra deep grooves that professionally collect cooking grease, completely eliminating those dreaded sticky grease drips onto your pristine stovetop. 4. Hauslane UC-PS38. Most traditional residential range hoods heavily struggle to pull smoke from the front burners, but during my rigorous testing, the PS38's unique panel design captured fumes from all 4 burners with astonishing efficiency. I intentionally placed 2 aggressively smoking skillets on the absolute front edge of the stove, and the incredible suction pulled the smoke backward and upward seamlessly, completely keeping it out of my face. Powered by a staggering 950 CFM dual motor setup, this hood does not mess around when it comes to raw, uncompromising extraction capability. Whether I was boiling massive multi-gallon pots of pasta, poaching delicate fish, or aggressively deep-frying potatoes, the UC-PS38 handled the intense heat and heavy steam flawlessly. The intuitive 6-speed touch panel gives you precise, granular control over this massive wall of power, ensuring you only use as much energy and create as much noise as your specific cooking task actually requires. The absolute crown jewel of the UC-PS38, however, is its revolutionary auto steam clean function. Stubborn grease buildup inside the internal motor housing is the eventual death of most residential range hoods, but this incredible feature solves that problem entirely. With the simple touch of a button, the hood uses superheated steam to rapidly dissolve caked-on grease, drastically extending the life of the dual motors without ever requiring a dedicated, hard-plumbed water line. I tested the automated cleaning cycle after a grueling week of heavy frying, and the sheer amount of filthy grime it flushed down into the removable water tray was both completely disgusting and deeply satisfying. The overall build quality and aesthetic presentation are top-notch, featuring a contemporary, ultra-clean design that instantly elevates the look of standard wooden cabinetry. 3. Hauslane UC. When I first unboxed and mounted this 30-inch under-cabinet unit, the heavy-duty stainless steel construction immediately felt distinctly premium to the touch. It feels incredibly sturdy against the wall, completely free of any cheap metallic rattling, and the sleek outer finish naturally resists oily fingerprints, which is a massive plus if your kitchen gets a lot of daily foot traffic and hands-on use. Performance-wise, the UC-PS60 boasts exceptional, aggressive suction capabilities that easily rival much more expensive commercial restaurant units. I ran a heavy smoke test by intentionally burning a pan of cooking oil, and the high-performance dual motors leaped into action, instantly creating a powerful, swirling updraft that cleared the entire room in a matter of seconds. With 3 distinct and well-calibrated speed settings, you can easily toggle from a gentle background hum for light steaming to an aggressive, powerful vortex for intense indoor grilling. One of the most practical and thoughtful features I loved during my everyday testing was the highly convenient delay auto shutoff function. There is honestly nothing worse than finishing a heavy, complex meal, sitting down at the table to eat, and having to listen to a loud exhaust fan run throughout your entire dinner. With this brilliant delay feature, I could simply set the timer and completely walk away. The hood continued to aggressively vent the lingering food odors from the kitchen, and then quietly turned itself off while I was happily in the dining room enjoying my meal. The incredibly bright LED lighting on the PS60 is perfectly angled to flood and illuminate the entire cooking surface without ever casting harsh shadows or blinding you while you chop and prep. 2. Hauslane R110. When I was testing this specific model, I was immediately drawn to how flawlessly and invisibly it integrates into custom wooden van hoods or existing cabinetry. Unlike bulky, protruding under cabinet models, the R110 completely hides its mechanical muscle, offering a pristine, uninterrupted sightline in the kitchen while secretly harboring massive ventilation power directly above your stove. The pure suction performance on the R110 is honestly nothing short of breathtaking. Equipped with an incredibly heavy-duty motor system, it effortlessly handles thick, rolling clouds of smoke, heavy blinding steam, and highly pungent airborne spices. I spent an entire afternoon pushing it to its absolute limits with heavily spiced curries and aggressively blackened fish, and the negative air pressure it generated was so effective that not a single scent lingered in the adjacent living room. It works incredibly aggressively, but intelligently manages the airflow with impressive internal acoustic dampening. What truly sets this unit apart from the competition is the highly intuitive electronic control interface, which makes operating the powerful internal blower feel remarkably sophisticated and smooth. The tactile push-button controls are crisp and highly responsive, seamlessly allowing you to cycle through the multi-speed settings instantly without any frustrating lag. The integrated LED lamps are positioned perfectly at the front of the unit to flood your stovetop with brilliant, crystal-clear light, ensuring you can accurately gauge the exact color of your simmering sauces and the precise crust on your meats without any annoying glare. The weekly maintenance routine on the R110 is wonderfully low effort, which is exactly what you desperately want from a fully concealed, built-in unit. It utilizes highly durable, completely dishwasher-safe stainless steel baffle filters that lock incredibly securely into place but release instantly with a simple, effortless pull of the quick-release latch. 1. Hauslane PRO500. From the exact second I got my hands on this incredible hood, the massive, imposing commercial-style design let me know it meant serious business. The thick-gauge stainless steel canopy is literally built like a tank, projecting an aura of professional culinary authority that immediately becomes the bold, undeniable centerpiece of the entire kitchen. When it comes to pure, unadulterated suction power, the PRO500 leaves absolutely everything else in the dust. I threw the ultimate, punishing stress test at it, searing multiple thick steaks in smoking cast iron skillets simultaneously, while aggressively boiling a massive stockpot of water. The dual high-performance motors didn't even break a sweat. It created an immediate, violent vacuum, pulling every single ounce of smoke, vapor, and flying grease vertically into the massive canopy before it even had a fraction of a chance to spread into the room. It is breathtakingly powerful. Despite its rugged commercial-grade strength, The PRO500 is surprisingly refined and highly enjoyable to operate daily. The heavy-duty rotary dial controls are thick, metallic, and incredibly tactile, giving you absolute, granular precision over the fan speeds, much like the premium controls on a high-end, luxury gas range. The dual-level overhead lighting system is phenomenally bright, providing a massive, incredibly wide cast of illumination that easily covers even the largest professional 6-burner stoves. Every single physical interaction with this hood feels substantial, deliberate, and clearly built to last a lifetime. Finally, the sheer, staggering volume of airborne grease this hood can actively capture and cleanly manage is astounding. The commercial-style stainless steel baffle filters are incredibly massive, specifically designed to easily handle the extreme grease output of constant deep frying and high-heat wok cooking.